Welcome to the Blooming League of Original Podcast.
G'day and welcome to Thrash and Treasure, the torture chamber musical podcast that takes the long hair of heavy metal and deliberately tangles it up in the sequin leotards of musical theatre. I'm Aaron, Team Musical represent, and I'm joined as usual by our very own Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, my co-host Gareth. How you doing, son?
I'm doing great. 1 week I was Dr. Seuss, now I'm a Power Ranger. So, yeah.
You are. And I was wearing a Power Ranger t-shirt when I wrote that.
Power to all the gingers.
But just, look, I spoke to you yesterday, so I'm not going to ask you how you are, because I know how you are.
I'm the same, just I've swapped
Yep.
Riesling for a coffee. That's the only difference.
Oh, me too. Cheers. Drink up. Oh, we are privileged to have a literary queen in the house today, helping me build up the musical theatre army and celebrate International Women's Day. Our next guest has been a fixture on Australian TVs for nearly 2 decades. She's known to many as a fierce advocate for public education, a strong social leader / activist, as well as being the top Aussie feminist out there, and has written more novels than he could throw a book at, including Just a Girl, Just a Queen, and the non-fiction Accidental Feminists. Plus, in 2019, was awarded royal honours with an Order of Australia medal. Holy moly, what have we gotten ourselves into? Meaning there is now the initials AM after her name, which I believe in Latin means fully sick bitch. I don't know, could be. Taking time out from working on her next novel to venture into our strange little music game. Please say a huge g'day to Jane Caro. Welcome to the chamber. How you doing?
Oh, I'm really good, thank you, guys. Accidental Feminist is, a rant about older women and how they are neglected, ignored, and face poverty and homelessness in their old age because they put caring for others ahead of their own right to earn an income, as they were taught to do.
I believe their name is Mum. To most of
And
us.
Mud,
Yeah,
once
and Mud.
you know that part of their life has passed.
Yes. Yep. My
So-
girlfriend said, "Have you read Accidental Feminist before Jane comes on the show?" And I said, "No, I haven't, because I'm reading something else. But I will read it."
Not my novel, clearly.
So I'm reading it.
Please do, Gareth. I wish more
will.
men would read it.
I will.
It's one of our problems as women and female writers is men don't read what we write, and
No.
they need to, because they need to listen to what we have to say as fellow human beings.
Yes, and long gone are the days where you have to put initials or a man's name on a book to
Right.
get away with it.
Will.
J.K. Rowling.
I think.
Yeah.
Pardon me, a bit of coffee stuck in my throat there.
I'm
Anyway,
I'm
so
going to put
today
it in there anyway. No, I was just looking at my reading list, and I think I've read more books by female authors in the last 12 months than I ever have. But that's because my wife and I swap books.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So it's good. So she gets a lot of garbage, and I get some really good books. So yeah, it's true. It's true.
I'm not
Anyway,
surprised.
I'm going to Booktopia, and I'm putting Accidental Feminist on my list. So there we go.
Very good.
We'll start off on a positive note, because it's all downhill from here.
But yeah, so Gareth, I believe you gave us a metal album this week. If you can call it an album.
I didn't even realize, because I wasn't paying attention, that Jane was going to be on the show when I handed this one over, and I think it fits, because it was one of my favorite albums from last year anyway. So
Oh, really?
yeah. Let's get into it.
Well, I already do question your taste. You didn't like Hair.
Yeah, I know.
And you didn't like Spring Awakening. So what did you give us?
I gave you Devilskin from New Zealand.
Yeah, you did. From Hamilton. I drove through. Well, I didn't drive because I'm not stupid enough to get my license. But Lara drove us through Hamilton twice. So when I saw that, I was like, yay, I might actually like this band.
From geographically, yeah, that's how I choose on my bands.
You may hear the fade out in my voice there.
Yeah. So it was Devilskin Red.
Yes. Hamilton, New Zealand band, and our second New Zealand band.
So it is too.
When I first saw the cover, I thought, hey, wait, we already did F8, and it was terrible with a capital F. But then I realized it was just a similar looking cover, and I immediately questioned their design skills. So, not being the type to judge a book by its cover at all, ever, unless it's a nudie mag, of course, I opened up the Devilskin story and this is what I found. Once upon a first listen, a mean, growly prince overshadowed a fierce princess. "Do you see birds?" he said, but she looked at him sideways and replied, "Yes, I see a goose, but I can't see a question mark." Scandalized, the growly prince swished his velvet cape as he swept past, the breeze leaving the princess feeling refreshed. And as the growly prince galloped away, leaving grovelly prince in his wake, the princess raised her voice and sung, and everything turned warm, while strangely feeling chilled. Her raspy, bluesy voice echoed up into the belfry and awoke the dragon. It yawned, it stretched, it tried to come alive. Its scarred, scaly, scared eyelids subconsciously shot open. Flecks of flame accompanied 2 streams of scorching hot smoke. The dragon's eyes stare blankly at the wall as the princess's voice steals his focus and his breath. But the dragon has a thought, at least as much of an intelligible thought as an undesirable, bitter-horned dragon might have, and the process hurt his tiny brain. He digs his claws into his own arms. Green blood pops and squirts out of the gaping wounds. The dragon's unhappiness turns to anger and hunger at the sound of blood and bone. In the blink of a 182, the dragon leaps off its nest, crashing through the wall with its long whiskered snout.
Was that it? Are we still going?
Yeah, sorry. All right, I'm nearly
Okay.
done. Sorry. This has a point, I promise. It'll get there. It barely gains its balance as its long body curls its way down the stairs, eventually reaching the ground floor. The spotted beast squeezes through an archway, instantly coming face to face with the Princess Jenny. It stops moving, and yet she continues singing, the coarse, anxious notes causing the dragon's heart to peter out with a pathetic putter. It tilts his head. Her voice fades out with bright lights. Behind them, the prince returns vengeful. With torture on his lips, it sees the dragon. The dragon smiles and bites down on the red devil-skinned prince because he gave this dragon a 4-star album. Gareth, thank you very much.
Can I just say something? And I didn't want to interrupt you.
That was good. I like that album. Yeah, good. Thank you. Because that was hard. Shit.
The prince, the growly prince and the princess are one and the same. That's Jen.
No, you're the prince.
No. Well, no, okay. So when you were reading that, it was sounding...
Technically, you're the prince, yeah. But I'm the dragon. And the princess was her, because I really liked her voice.
So that's her. She does the
she's the
clean
princess.
singing. She also does she does the dragon growl.
Yeah, she's got I really like her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, and I haven't, it hasn't been since, episode 3, since I was like, oh my God, I love this singer.
Who was that? Oh, that was...
Elise Wright.
Elise Wright from Aromatic.
And it was both of them in I can't even remember the man's name because I'm all about the Chicky Babes.
I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, no, I really like this album. I hate the first song. The first song is shocking.
Yeah.
Where's the question mark? I even said that to Jane when we spoke about it, and she said this album's awful. And I'm like, no, get past the first song. The first song's crap. It really is, and it's grammatically incorrect. So that's why I had to make a joke about
that. There's no question mark after birds. I know. It's
dark. It's dark, but it's also bluesy and light and it's her voice, the lyrics as well. That song Endo, I cried.
Wow.
So
okay.
I mean, obviously, it was I read the personal story. I first heard it, and then I read what it was about, and it was about her medical issues. And when I listened to it again, and I heard the escalation of it, and where it went, the darkness that it went to, and I cried at the end of it. It was a beautiful song. It really was. But anyways, what did you think, Jane? Did you end up getting past the first song?
Skip the first song.
I was so put off by the first song that originally I thought, nah, that's it. I'm not listening to any more of this. And my daughter, who's in her early 30s, just went, what is that horrible noise? You know. I mean, I really found that first song everything I hate about heavy metal.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just tuneless, and it's so angry and aggressive and violent. It feels like Trump supporters invading the Capitol. You know, it's fuck off. I mean, I really can't stand it.
Yes, you're welcome
so
here anytime, Jane.
Yeah, so I really didn't like it, and I therefore was extremely nervous about listening to any of the rest of it, and I just dipped in and dipped out. And you're right, it improved, and she has a lovely voice, but I have to say I generally found it dull. Like if I had it on, I'd find that my mind had wandered off. You know, I wasn't listening. I was thinking about other things. And I often find that with heavy metal music, there's something, because it is not melodic, because there is no melody, and because I find the lyrics hard to hear and discern. I lose interest. And I'm afraid I listened to a few other songs, and I just went. The first one was really the kind of horrible and just no fun to listen to, and the rest are dull. So.
No, that's fine. This is what this show is about. It's about jumping
I am
into
63.
worlds.
I mean, you know, I'm not who they're aiming the bloody album at, obviously.
Age is...
Come on. Alice Cooper's 10 years older than you. Come on.
Yeah. But
yes,
Alison Fraser...
I liked Alice Cooper when I was young. You've got to remember, I'm a 70s girl, 70s teenager.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there wasn't a party I went to where you couldn't tell where it was, because you'd hear bum, 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 bum. And that's where the party was every single time.
So much smoke on the water.
Smoke on the water.
Still going.
Bum, bum, bum.
Still going today.
So,
yeah.
But that's got a melody.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I completely agree. I've been saying this all along. I've been saying this about the singing, the unclean, gra, 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 gra. You know, and now I can speak fluently to motorized scooters because I've listened to that many bloody metal albums. So, you know, but there is a difference. The clean and the unclean, I do much prefer the clean singing. But I've actually found a lot of the other albums were found quite dull along the way, and this one for some reason excited me. I don't know why. I know why it is, and Gareth is gonna wet his pants when I say it. I can hear Jenny hooking up with Kelly Clarkson and doing a cover of Corrode. Don't look like that, Gareth. I knew you'd. I'm
just going to scream my face. No, look.
Right? No, them two. I'm telling you right now, they would work together. I have an instinct for this.
Oh yeah, Kelly Clarkson's very, very talented.
She has some dark songs that are not on the radio.
I don't know,
because they would balance each other out.
Okay,
they really would, and I'm going to start tweeting about that.
All right, I think Jenny balances herself out. But anyway, that's just
I thought that's just great.
That's just me.
Oh, and the other thing is they're all really good looking, but those two guys with the red chin pubes, if you turn them upside down, they look like troll dolls.
There's a photo of me and Paul Martin, the bass player, at Download Festival, the last one I went to, which was, you know, before the world went crazy, which was 2019 now.
Which one did you say?
The bass player, Paul Martin.
Oh, okay, so the dad.
So,
okay, the DILF, yes. All right.
So the dad, because Nick, as his son, is on the drums. So, yeah.
I didn't know if them two were brothers or if it was a father and son thing, because them two look alike. They're both stocky, bald, with the red chin pubes.
No, they're not. No,
I know they're not now, but they look like brothers.
Yeah, they're not related at all. They just happen to be New Zealanders, and we all look the same. So once we get the...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, you look blonde. You would look blonde compared to that bright red.
That is happy 50th.
Well, you look grey.
This is grey. Yeah.
Grey, technically.
That is grey.
A couple of years ago, you would have looked blonde next to that bright red, I think.
No, I was ginger. I just had a big red beard, and now it's just a...
No, I'm not saying what you were. I'm saying what you would have looked. Perspective.
Right, okay.
Haven't you ever seen colours and there's a science show on Disney Plus. Watch it. You'll learn something. It's all about the eye and colours and all that. Okay, shut up.
All right, okay.
I look, I really did. I enjoyed this album, and I got quite angry at you for that.
Good.
I was like, damn it, he's done it to me again. That's not fair.
In my review of April last year, I did give it 9 out of 10 on Wall of Sound. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm glad.
yeah, no, I give
Although
it
I gave
four.
a 10 out of 10 for something you gave nothing to. So, there we go.
Yeah. Well, that's called
God,
karma.
it's David and
Yeah.
Margaret.
Yeah, it is. Or Oscar and Felix, and whichever one's the mean one, that's Gareth.
Right.
So
No, that's not true at all.
You're
You're the
definitely
bitchy guy.
Margaret, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. And Gareth is David.
yes.
Uh,
No, that's not an insult.
I'm-
Margaret Pomerantz is awesome.
no,
Oh,
I'm
no,
actually.
I
I'm gonna. I'll take.
I-
I will take
Yeah,
that.
either one I
take
would
that.
be.
Stratton's
Actually,
awesome too.
yeah, no, I would much rather be Margaret. Yeah,
Mm.
no, definitely.
It's-
Yeah, no,
that's what editing is for. So
editing. Well, I did write a couple
keeping
of
your
jokes.
keeping your foot out of your mouth.
For it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, but
Mm.
I thought, you know what? No, I kind of. Oh no, corrode, and Jenny was all like, I want to get wet and dirty. I'm like, yeah, she's invited to every single one of my parties. And oh no, that's all I wrote. That's all I wrote.
At a social distance.
At
Yeah,
a social distance.
There's not a lot of parties at the moment.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that? Are you still doing that in Melbourne? Social distancing.
What's
I
back
don't
on
know.
again? There's
Is
a
it?
cluster.
Oh yeah, we had
Ah.
yesterday. We had 2, and we've spiraled out of control. So
Got 8
all lost
now.
our
Yeah.
minds. Have we?
Okay.
Oh shit.
We're still.
Oh look, I'm not leaving this bubble anyways. So
We're still. Yeah. We're still donuts in WA, thankfully, but
Are you?
we haven't quite come out of.
Yeah, New South Wales is still zeros as well.
Mm,
Apart from, but that's local transmission. I think the 8 in Melbourne are in the quarantine hotel.
oh good.
yeah. Okay. Good. I don't know if hotel's the best place for them, but I'll leave that one up to the medical professionals. Anyway.
That's all. That's all the jokes I wrote. That's all the notes. Oh,
Great.
Tony. I saw the name Tony Vincent. I thought, awesome. I loved him in Jesus Christ Superstar. Only to find out, very different Tony Vincent.
Very. Yeah. His nickname's Nail.
Yeah. Is that his nickname or an invitation? Sorry,
Oh.
that's terrible. Sorry, boys. You do really well. I liked your band, so at least you didn't get any sus this week. Gareth did.
But I am.
Oh,
I do. I think because I'm tuned into the vocals and that sort of thing that I didn't realize it was going to be quite so polarizing, especially on the first song.
You know my weak spots.
yeah.
By now.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of, as I've said before many times, that sort of vocal styling doesn't do it for me. If it's the
The
whole
growling.
album in that metalcore kind of thing, I'm an old school metal guy. I do tune out, but I think Jenny uses it sparingly enough. Although this is the first time she's done it in pretty much a whole song, which happens to be the first song. So it's a little bit of a punch in the face.
Was that her?
That's what I'm saying. That's her. She does.
What?
That's her voice. That is her.
Oh
Can't be doing a vocal course any good.
no.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's not a guy there screaming. That's Jenny. She sings everything.
Well, I read one of them did backing vocals, so I figured that was code for unclean vocals.
Well, it just goes to show women can make just as ghastly a noise as men.
Yes, they can.
It's an equal opportunity album.
Yeah, I had no idea. Oh, that has blown my mind. It really has.
Oh, good. That's what I was trying to say when you were banging on about dragons and princesses. I was saying she's
I got it.
the dragon. She's
And the prince.
yeah,
And
and the princess.
Oh no! Well, in my metaphor, you were the prince.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't do metaphors. You should know that.
Because I call you the leading Lothario of this show, whereas I'm the
Yeah, I
village
don't do-
idiot.
Yeah. But no, that's Jenny. That's why actually when you said to me, I hope this is a feminist album, and I thought, well,
Well, no, I said I hope
I'm
it's
getting- this is-
it's feminist friendly because we don't want to offend.
well, yeah. And
our
I said
guests. That's
this
what
is
I
100%.
said.
you
No,
can't
well, I
be a
know, I-
feminist and get offended all the time. You just spend your
yeah.
entire life in a lather of offence, you know.
Yeah. And I said to him,
You're
you've followed
immune.
me on Twitter for 8-9 years now. I'm sure you have seen a lot of crap from me that has offended you along the way, and then
No.
you put up with it. So
I'm
that's
very
exactly-
hard.
Yeah.
I'm very hard to offend. Now, look,
Confessing
I'm going to
myself.
warn you all.
Mhm.
I can hear that my grandchildren have just come home.
Oh, have they?
They're
Okay.
living
Well,
with us
yep.
at the moment. They're 2 and 4, so they're going to make some noise. So there's
Yep,
going to
no.
be children's sounds in the background. There's nothing I can do about it.
Awesome.
Yep, no, that's all good. We'll
Awesome.
watch our language.
And after
definitely.
that album, any noise is going to be okay.
Yes, no, tell me about it. Look, oh well, no, I disagree. I do. I do agree on the metal aspect that yes. But this album in particular, I thought was bluesy, and I'd like to hear her do some blues. wanted to hook up with Kelly Clarkson and do some blues. So
All right.
I know her name's Jenny, but it's Skull something I can't even.
Scalander.
Scalander,
Yeah.
that's right. I knew it was something Newt Scamanderish. So anyways,
Anyway,
we'll chuck to an ad break quickly.
a thumbs down from Jane and a thumbs up
Sorry.
from Hannah.
You get 1.5 thumbs up from me. Like that.
1.5.
So yeah, no, I'm pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
No, it's not bad. That's
Let's go to a sponsor.
yeah, we'll go to a sponsor and we're back in a moment.
Coming this summer, winter, spring, or fall, the first ever musical theater sitcom, where you go behind the scenes of the latest West End show, the Fosse Forest Ballet.
Where's the important stuff? Aha! £1,000 a week ensemble rate. That's what Mamma Mia likes.
Starring Philip Joel and a West End cast featuring Kerry Ellis, Darren Day, Louise Demon, and Oliver Saville, and more.
It all started in 1987 when I was a jobbing actress working in a diner.
Yeah, it's just I had a really bad experience when I was touring Australia with a wombat.
Darling! Mwah, mwah.
La, la.
How long have I been mentoring you? 3 months?
2 years.
So her name is Henrietta.
The horse. Yes. I've managed to secure you an audition for the biggest, most innovative, and the latest show to be going into the West End. Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Think more along the lines of Panther.
Frozen.
You can watch this episode for the price of a coffee. Simply go to www.thefosseforestballet.com. Any and all profits go back to theatre charities, acting for others, and the Theatre's Trust. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll see a grown man in sparkly tights.
Tight nights. Nice tights.
All right.
Alrighty, we're
Sorry,
back with
you're
Thrash and
hosting. You go nuts. Sorry.
do it on the fly.
Hey.
Alrighty.
Grandchildren, I warned
Yeah,
you.
no, that's all good. It's all good. Welcome back to Thrash and Treasure, the Torture Chamber musical comedy podcast that takes musical theatre and heavy metal and pits them against each other for no other reason than Schadenfreude. But I'm joined as usual by my co-host Gareth. How you doing, mate?
I'm still good. I'm still great.
Awesome. All right. And we're also joined by the amazing Jane Caro, author and TV personality, political activist. The list goes on.
And grandmother.
And grandmother. The most important of all.
Might have some extra voices singing out in the background, which will be fitting because this week Jane chose the musical for us, and she chose her favorite musical, Into the Woods, which I absolutely love. Another Sondheim classic. I'm sure Gareth is thrilled by that.
Stephen Sondheim.
I can hear them muttering.
Yes. I'll turn that up.
Yes. Okay, Into the Woods. I didn't actually realize this was your favorite musical.
It's one of my favorites.
One of
I mean,
yours.
I
You've
have a
got
lot
many.
that I like.
Yeah.
I like dark musicals. So I like, for example, Cabaret, Into the Woods, Chicago, you know, the darker side. I'm not as enamored of the sort of happy.
Oh, adorable.
Hi, Gaggy. Hi, Esther. My granddaughter's just joined me. She's very interested in this.
And we're about to talk about Cinderella and
Yes.
Jack and the Beanstalk and Little Red Riding Hood.
All of that.
Sorry, Gareth.
Yes.
I know you had seen the movie.
Oh,
And I know you weren't impressed with the movie.
Oh, the movie's awful. The movie is bad.
thank you.
The reason I fell in love with Into the Woods is I saw the Sydney Theatre Company production way back. It was probably in the 90s with Geraldine Turner and Heidi. Oh, I can't remember her name. But anyway, absolutely fantastic cast. And I fell hook, line and sinker for it. That was a wonderful production. I then watched the movie with Meryl Streep and James Condon and all, and it was so bad. It's really not a good translation into film.
No,
unlike
it's
Cabaret,
not.
unlike Chicago, which are great translations.
Yep.
You've
And they
got to
did
see
change
the
them up.
live show. It's
Yep.
totally different from the movie.
I did send him the original Broadway cast recording.
And I didn't watch it.
Of course, he didn't watch it, but he listened to it.
Look, I watched the movie with my daughter who's 14 at the moment. Now she's 14. I don't know how old she was then. She was probably 11 or 12. And she loved it because I watched it and I said, "Oh my God, that was awful. What did you think?" And she loved it because I think that was probably where it was aimed at. And that kind of
I don't think so.
No.
Not with those
see,
lyrics.
here's the thing. I missed
Not with those lyrics.
I missed all of this.
And the metaphor.
Because the lyrics that you can't hear in heavy metal, I can't hear in this. So when I listen to this, it's so the opening number's like 11 minutes long. Stairway to Heaven's not that long. I mean, come on. Just
The opening number is like your album. It's not the most compelling of the songs in the show.
Yeah.
It's 10% of the album.
Yeah,
Literally.
but songs like Agony and Children Must Listen and
No One
On
Is
the Steps
Alone.
of the Palace, they are fantastic.
Yep.
Agony's brilliant.
They did Agony twice, and I was there for every word of absolute agony.
You were?
I missed the whole darkness. All I'm hearing is Cinderella and the Three Bad Wolves and whatever the big bad wolf.
You miss
I've missed
the reprise.
I missed everything.
They're yearning for the other untouchables, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White, and then they end up with, oh well, back to my wife. And the first time round, I must take her to wife, and now, oh shit, I got to go back to my wife. Sondheim is very good on human foibles, and using fairy tales to undercut fairy tales is just really good.
Yeah. And I obviously I told you about the metaphor of this show, Gareth, that it's whether or not it is actually confirmed that it is a metaphor for AIDS.
Okay.
Sondheim's never confirmed it, right? Or he said it's not specific, but people read into it, and obviously there's the theme of sex and death and mistakes and going down the wrong path with the big bad wolf.
And yearning for the wrong things and following false gods and looking for things that are going to solve all the problems in your life and never do.
And not having that parental figure around. And
God, this sounds depressing.
At the end of it, the baker's wife dies.
What the hell?
Yes, after having adulterous sex with one of the princes.
Where was that?
She dies.
Yeah,
it didn't.
No, I'm getting
Step to the palace.
My ears are getting.
Do your research, mate.
There's so many, because it's that operatic styling that it's just in my head, and I just wanted it to stop. And see, fairy tales. I don't do fairy tales, really.
No, but you have to get beyond that, because Sondheim.
Yeah.
Actually, what Sondheim's musicals are novels in song, and what I like, all the songs I like, all the things that I really respond to are narratives. I like story in song, and I like story generally. So my favourite songs are things like A Day in the Life or Sympathy for the Devil, or because they tell a tale, they tell a story. Well, so does this. That's exactly what this does.
And cleverly too. The wit behind it is phenomenal.
Sondheim is he's the Noel Coward of our era.
He is. He's an absolute genius. And you have said that, Gareth. You have said he is a genius. We did Assassins, and that got 4 stars. So
that is true.
And that was the musical after Into the Woods. All right. So that
okay. Well, so he got better.
He got better.
You're a smart ass.
If the tree did fall, would it fall on me? And then I'd be like, thank you. It's stopped.
Yeah, but
it stopped.
It's a story about. It's also about how parents oppress children ignore parents, how we break the rules and there are consequences, and how we yearn for the false things that aren't going to solve anything, and we're mesmerized by glamour and glitter and the idea that someone can wave a wand and fix our lives for us. It's about so much Into the Woods. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hidden behind this fairy tale amalgamation or a mashup of all these stories centered around an original fairy tale, and I don't know how you can't see all this. There is so much in this show that is deceptive.
It was too hidden because I'm a literal person and I need to be hit in the face with something. Otherwise, don't. No. Okay, that was so well hidden, and I think my big wall went up when I don't care about Cinderella, and I don't care about Sleeping Beauty, and I don't care about princes and all that sort of thing. So there's a big wall go up, and I go, all I want to do is just get through it.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
Well,
there you go.
same.
Royalty. Think
Same.
that.
Same,
Fantasy,
same.
royalty.
All right,
Yep.
this was not.
Same.
This was not.
Yeah.
It's just-
All right.
and funnily enough, we have an Anthony Stewart Head connection here, although with the news about Joss Whedon going out, we probably shouldn't do it anymore. But
is there? Yeah.
Dean Butler,
Anyway, sorry.
who played Buffy's dad in the show, was in the Broadway production.
Oh, okay.
So there we
All
go.
right.
We connect that.
I didn't know Buffy had a dad. Anyway,
Well, he wasn't around much. It was 2 episodes.
I just woke up this morning and had a look at Twitter and saw Joss Whedon, and I said, is there any guy left who's not a complete and utter fuckwit? Present company excluded, but I was just sort of thinking, we just had Marilyn Manson. Well, far out. Let's and I'm just sort of thinking, can you get into a position of power and responsibility and not be a complete fuckwit? You don't even have to be a.
There are.
Yeah.
And there are plenty who have. We haven't heard anything awful about anyone in the Beatles or the Rolling, even the Rolling Stones. I'm just
That is
astonished.
true. Even the Rolling
Astonished.
Stones.
And they would have
I
slept with everybody.
Yeah,
Think
just
about it. Everybody.
Absolutely.
And it brings me back to Into
No,
the
that is true.
Woods, because nice is different than good.
Yes.
Those lines themselves have lingered in me for so long, because I know I'm not a very nice person, but I would like to be a good person. So I'd like to discern the difference between the two. And when people say you're
think
so
my
nice,
grandson-
I'm like, nah. Pardon me?
I think my grandson's trying to be nice and good at the moment. He's saying, sorry, mummy.
Aw.
Sorry.
Go to the bathroom, darling.
Sorry for what I have done or I'm about to do. Yeah. Anyway, the movie.
Yeah, that movie, it could have been something special, right?
But
Because
it wasn't.
It's all James Corden's
I
fault.
just-
I'm blaming James Corden now.
no, look,
I don't
he's
think
gotten to
Meryl
here with it.
Streep was all that
Yeah.
good.
See,
He
this is the
wasn't all
thing.
that good in it either. Yeah.
Before that movie, and this is a thing, Meryl Streep's great in everything, but
You know the problem with it? Here's my reason why I think the
Okay,
movie wasn't good is because it is really about being on stage, because it's about fantastical, traditional stories that have been handed down for centuries, and all that kind of thing. On stage, we suspend disbelief. We are prepared to accept more kind of fantasy than we are when it's actually a movie where we expect it to have some level of reality to it. And I think that's why it didn't work as a filmed piece, because there is no reality in this. This is really a metaphor from beginning to end, and therefore it works on stage, which is an unreal space anyway, an illusionary space. Film pretends it is illusionary, of course, and it is unreal, but it pretends to be real, and that just didn't work for this.
No.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
it done, like NBC and ABC and all that do the live musicals. I could
Yes.
see them doing that in a studio live on TV. I think it would work there. But if they do it as it is, stop this changing the lyrics around. It ruins the flow of the show. And they keep bloody doing it with everything. They'll update everything, and it doesn't need it. It really doesn't. It is a perfect show as it is.
And a shout out to the Sydney Theatre Company from the 1990s. That production knocked me out of my seat. It was so good.
I
Wow.
think
And,
Lisa McCune was in it. I
Who?
think.
Sorry,
Lisa
could have
McCune?
been. Could have been.
Oh,
Geraldine Turner was definitely the miller's wife. I
Yeah.
can't actually remember who played the witch now. And I think
Oh,
Miller
Judy
Heidke.
Connolly?
Yeah. I can't remember her first name, but Miller Heidke. She played
Oh, Kate
Little
Miller
Red Riding
Heidke?
Hood. Yeah.
Yep.
And they were just really brilliant, and it was
Yep.
the whole production was brilliantly done. It may have been Richard Werrett who directed it, which probably is why it was so good. It's a pity that's not recorded somewhere on tape. God, it was
Yeah.
great.
The National Libraries. If you go to a National Library, they have every professional performance recorded, and you can view them.
Okay. I'll
I've never done it myself,
What, video recorded?
but
Really?
I know you can do that.
Wow.
I don't know if you have to be a
Okay.
member or anything like that.
I could go to them, fall asleep, and then watch the bits I missed.
Yeah,
Um,
they
I'll
were.
find
I
It
it.
would have.
was
Oh,
one of the
There
best
was people in it.
productions of anything.
Gina
Oh.
Riley might have
Yeah.
been in it.
She
As,
might have been.
Little Red Riding Hood. I think she was.
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe.
I might
Well,
be
that
thinking
might be
of
the
something
Melbourne
else.
cast. Because
Possibly. Yeah, that's what. That's Lisa McCune would have been in the Melbourne cast.
Melbourne cast. I think this is
Yeah.
STC.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I think back to productions I saw in the 90s, that's the only one I remember.
Wow.
No, I remember every single detail about every show so incredibly vividly. I mean, all these useless details, something chronic, which when you think about it, useless is pretty much on brand for me.
Can we get a vaccine without branding and just get on with it, please?
Oh,
Anyway,
that'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, what the hell's with that?
let's not go down there. Just anything without the branding, The rorting without the branding, or just no rorting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought you meant to paint a turd gold, not the other way around, and put the turd on the gold.
Yeah.
Like, what's with that?
This
It just
government
does
is
not make sense.
This government is a turd. Anyway.
But speaking of, what was your score, Gareth? Have we talked you up?
Oh, my score for this one, having listened to all the reasons I was wrong, and I'm sticking by, and I'm just going to be wrong.
You are wrong.
I'm going to be wrong. Honestly, everything that before I started this podcast, I knew nothing about musical theatre. Everything that grates me about musical theatre is in this production. So it's 1 point. I'm giving it 1 out of 5.
Well, at least it's not 0, and at least it was fitting torture.
It was.
Yeah, you really should have watched the filmed version. It's got wolf dick.
I couldn't watch the film version because I was traumatized from the.
No, not the filmed version.
No, that's
stage.
what I meant. The one you sent me that I ignored, I couldn't.
Oh, at least watch the Hello Little Girl number, because the wolf, they've got the little penis. Little rubber penis that sticks out. It's so funny.
All right. I'm not watching that. Anyway.
Whatever. Anyways, so
fantastic. Anyway.
We shall wrap up. And before we do that, albums for next week.
We've got another special guest next week. Andy Dowling from the Sydney band Lord.
Yes.
They've been around for a long time. I think Andy and I have gone and thrown you some King Diamond Abigail.
You're not giving me a Lord album. You're wussing out. You are getting a metal performer on the show to gang up against me, and you are wussing out.
No, I'm not. Guests always choose.
Well,
so don't worry. You'll get some pain soon. Anyway, you've got the absolute classic from King Diamond, Abigail.
Andy, I'm disappointed.
So if you want some falsetto, there is no better.
What
have I got?
Do I want some falsetto? Do I? You have got.
Have you seen How Do You Mend a Broken Heart yet? That's very good.
No, I haven't.
Speaking falsetto, Bee Gees, the story of the Bee Gees, fascinating.
Oh, okay, no, I haven't. No,
really good.
Is that on Stand on Netflix, or is that on a?
I actually went old school and saw it at the cinema.
At the cinema.
But I'm sure you can find it on a platform somewhere.
It'll be streamed.
It's quite revealing about how heavy metal supporters responded against disco in the most bizarre and very, I would say, slightly homophobic way. It'd be a very good discussion point for your podcast.
Yes, I'd look at it.
Right, let's get on to that, because actually I want to do that because I'm a big Bee Gees fan.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
that's my
love them too.
The Bee Gees and the Beach Boys are my guilty pleasure that people can't understand. I listen to, but
I like the Pet Shop Boys. They're my guilty pleasure.
Yes. Oh no, Patsy Cline would have to be.
Oh, Patsy Cline, love her.
Well, that's
not guilty.
Yeah.
No,
that's
I know.
not guilty.
I know.
That's classy.
Oh no, yeah, my guilty pleasure is Connie Francis sings Yiddish classics. Not just Connie Francis singing, lipstick on your whatever the song is. Does she sing that? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so frazzled at the moment. Anyways, it's singing the Yiddish favorites. It's brilliant.
Wow.
It really is. I'm not even Jewish. I do love
I'm not sure you can even do guilty pleasures in music anymore. I mean, if I look at our record collection, there's everything from Nina Simone through to Anthrax and Megadeth. So it's all it's what you like.
Before we close up, here's my final remark on the side of musicals as opposed to heavy metal. Randy Rainbow cannot do an anti-Trump send-up of heavy metal. Can only do it through musical theatre.
Yeah,
this is true. Yes,
Was he in a production of Into the Woods?
I don't know if he's even done one of the songs from Into the Woods, but perhaps this will inspire him.
Yeah, I know he did a Hollywood Bowl concert version of something. I only read it just the other day, so I don't know if it was Into the Woods or.
No, either. Love his parodies; they are fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. let's build up to the end of the show. What have you got for me, Aaron?
I have got for you something that just closed in Sydney. So the timing is impeccable because obviously our guest is from New South Wales, and that is the Stephen Schwartz classic, a Brechtian royals from the 18th century France, a musical called Pippin.
Oh my!
Never heard of it, but that's not surprising. Pippin.
You're gonna love it. It's fantastic. It's everything you want in a musical, and there's an orgy. So yay! Golf claps.
So it's basically musical Caligula. Okay, I'm on that. Pippin.
No, it's a coming of age story, really.
Oh, geez, another one. I've come of age so many times.
Well, we've just
honestly.
had 13, and then those teenagers grew up in Spring Awakening, and they all lost their virginity, and now one of them doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, so he goes to war and stuff like that. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but Andy has already been
Please
given the
don't.
album.
It sounds fascinating.
It is.
Anyway.
It is.
I'm
These
not,
are real
no,
figures.
I'm going into it open-minded. My mind is open.
Good.
If I had a closed mind, I wouldn't do this show.
Yeah.
As long as
Have you
it's
not?
fairy tales?
Yeah, just
Well, it's a theme we've got, like legends and myths and fairy tales and stuff. So a trilogy of episodes.
So basically, we're going. See, if I'd have gone into that going, it's just like Game of Thrones. I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. Anyway,
I don't think there is a Game of Thrones-esque musical. Fortunately,
Not
or I
yet.
might be able to win you over. Not yet.
Not
There will
yet.
be, no doubt about that. But no, I
Game of
think
Thrones,
you
the musical by
Yes.
Stephen Sondheim. Awesome.
Yep.
let's see him tackle incest and dragons and yeah.
No
Well,
problem with
awesome.
Sondheim.
Well, he's 91, so I don't know how creative.
Is he really?
Yeah, he just had his 90th birthday last year.
He's amazing.
Wow.
He is. No,
Okay.
he, but look, as I say,
Okay.
it wasn't unsuccessful for metal this week, so you get another point on the board.
No, I'm happy.
Your second point in all
I'm
of this,
happy.
you're slowly catching up, I guess. It's like 6 to
Both
2 or
both
5
Kiwi.
to 2.
I just should stick to Kiwi bands.
No, it was
So, I
Body
just-
Count, Ice-T.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like you hit me
Yep.
in the soft spot
Okay.
twice. Get me with some lady
Alright.
drummers, and you know, I'll probably just not even show up to that episode because you've done that to
Lady
me. But
drummers,
anyway, so
alright.
yes, we'll be back.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much to Jane Caro for joining
Thank you-
us for this
thank you,
silly
Jane.
discussion. And
Pleasure. Happy to talk to you again, Gareth.
It's anytime. Anytime.
anytime you want to join
Alright.
us again, and we can torture
Sure.
Gareth because he obviously was tortured by this one. And
We'll do
and
another, I think, a little night music or something, another Sondheim perhaps would be wonderful.
Oh.
yeah, Gareth will be happy
Please.
to know Sondheim has written 18 musicals.
Sunday
So-
afternoon in the park with George would be good too.
Yes, that is that's Mandy Patinkin, so I think
Mhm.
you'll like that one.
Hey, I see. I love him. I'm a big fan.
I know,
of him.
yeah.
Great.
So
yeah, so
Yeah.
The
exactly.
Princess
got
Bride, more
amazing-
fairy tales. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
well, that's okay. Yeah.
Look,
Okay.
fairy tales, urban
Yeah.
legends, and myths, and all that. They've been such a strong part of human culture for so long. I think some people devalue their contribution to society and literature and art in general. You could trace nearly every film back to a fairy tale somehow, or a fable. Aesop's fables. I mean, he really
Alright.
did kick it off. Let's face it. I mean, I've said this before. Aesop wrote the first Bible with all those fables because they're our moral guide,
Well,
and
there
they're 500
there
years
we-
before
there we-
Jesus.
there we go. Now we've made
Enemies of
now we've made the
Christians.
ACL angry.
Hi Christians, I
That's
love
too
you.
easy. That's too easy.
Yeah,
Alan?
that's just
No.
like
Come
we
on,
do it with
guys.
the billboard.
Get with the program.
And,
Yeah,
anyway,
no, that's it.
Anyway.
Before we go, we'll
before
obviously
we go,
got your next novel. You're working at the moment. You're untitled, so
Oh yes, I can't tell
Yes.
you much about it. It's a feminist revenge fantasy. Is all I'll tell you.
ooh, all right.
I can hear the testicles squeezing up around the world right this very moment, and Schadenfreude
Jen.
galore.
Be very afraid.
I cannot wait
Oh.
for the response. I really can't. I'll be sitting there with popcorn watching society explode. And I'll be going like,
I
you
will-
poor
I will-
dears. Like, oh my goodness gracious me. A tiny violin. But anyways, thank you very much to my co-host Gareth.
You're welcome. Come over and follow me, not Gareth, on the Twitters, and you will probably read something that might upset you. So no, that's not true. Come and tell me I'm wrong. Like so many people tell me I'm wrong, which is great. So they're nice about it. And if they're not, I don't care.
Well, that's funny because I don't care either. No, I'm kidding. That's it from us this week. I've been Aaron. That's been Gareth. Huge thank you to Jane Caro for joining us on this International Women's Day special. Be sure to follow her on the Twitter at Jane Caro. Also, look out for her books. She's got plenty of them. They're an excellent read. And if you're in Australia, be sure to look out for her on your TV screens. You can follow us on Twitter at Thrash and Treasure. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think of the show. And to all the women out there, keep kicking ass. And if you're not, don't let anything stop you. There is no day but today. You take care. See you next time. Hooroo. You take care.
Pleasure, Aaron.
Follow
Pleasure,
Jane.
Gareth.
Bye.
Bye.